The radio module should be checked regularly to ensure stable communication between the SP-401S and the control units UR101, UR201, or ALCMS. It is recommended to inspect the module whenever lamps show delayed responses, reduce communication range, or fail to react to commands. Regular checks help detect early signs of corrosion, water ingress, or connector damage that could interrupt radio transmission. Performing these inspections as part of scheduled maintenance ensures reliable system operation and prevents communication failures on the airfield. For this operation, the following tools are required: a multibit screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, 4 mm hex key, 2 mm hex key, H4 bit, and PZ1 bit. Review the table of recommended force to ensure the torque is set correctly. In ALCMS, using the Monitoring tab, you can verify whether the devices are properly communicating with the network. To do this, go to the Monitoring tab and expand the relevant group to see the assigned devices. First, review the status column. If a device is displayed as offline, it indicates that the connected device is not communicating with the ALCMS. If the device is displayed as online, communication is functioning correctly. Also review the last update column. If you observe a significant time difference compared to other devices, it indicates a potential radio communication fault. Check whether the lamp receives commands from the UR101, UR201, or ALCMS devices. Do not use two control devices simultaneously, as receiving different commands from two devices at the same time may cause lamp flickering. To do this, use one of these controllers and try to turn the lamp on or adjust its intensity steps. If operation fails with the inspected device but other lamps activate correctly, it indicates a radio-related issue. However, if the lamp responds to commands sent by the controlling device without delay, it indicates that there are no issues with radio communication. Verify the communication between devices by activating the emergency switch from another lamp. This test is possible only for units configured as emergency light. Lamps configured as non-emergency lights are not able to activate emergency mode in other devices. Locate the lamp labeled Emergency Switch Operative and press the emergency switch located at the bottom of the unit. There are two types of switches, monostable and bistable. The bistable emergency switch activates emergency mode with the first press and remains in the pressed position. When the emergency switch remains in the pressed position, emergency mode cannot be deactivated. Pressing the switch again returns it to the released position, allowing emergency mode to be turned off. In contrast, when the monostable switch is pressed, it immediately returns to its original position. To activate emergency mode, the switch must be pressed twice. Once activated, this modification enables emergency mode for all lamps within the given network, causing them to operate at 100% intensity until the mode is deactivated or the lamp batteries are fully discharged. Successful illumination of the second lamp at a distance of approximately 300 meters confirms proper radio communication between the units. If the lamp does not respond, this suggests a potential failure of the radio module, antenna, or antenna adapter in one of the units, which may require replacement. To deactivate emergency mode using a bistable switch, ensure that the switch is in the released position. Subsequently, press the emergency switch 4 times in and 4 times out. For the monostable switch, press the switch 4 times. For additional information regarding the emergency switch, refer to the video titled SP-401S, Device Operation, via Emergency Switch. Check the battery status of the SP-401S lamp by switching the unit on and off, while observing the status LED indicator located in the upper section of the lamp. Two sequences will be displayed. The first two flashes indicate whether the device is charging and specify the charging source. The next 10 quick flashes indicate the battery charge level in 10% increments. A red flash means a 10% segment is not charged, while each green flash represents a charged 10%. If no information is displayed, press the emergency switch located at the bottom of the lamp and observe the status LED indicator. If the battery level is below 20%, the battery is most likely discharged. If the status LED indicator does not display any information, refer to the video SP-401S, How to Check Power Issues. Check whether the antenna socket or the antenna is damaged. Locate the antenna on the upper section of the lamp and inspect it for any physical damage. Ensure that the gasket is properly installed beneath the antenna. If no abnormalities are found, unscrew the antenna and inspect the antenna socket for damage. To perform this step, remove the gasket from the antenna socket. If damage is detected, refer to the video titled SP-401S, How to Replace the Antenna Adapter. After removing the antenna, reinstall the antenna gasket. Subsequently, install a new antenna by screwing it back into the antenna socket and retest the lamp to exclude potential internal antenna failure. If this does not resolve the issue, continue with the next step. To disconnect the solar panel cable from the lighting unit, rotate the latch counterclockwise and carefully remove it from the power connector. To remove the lighting unit from the permanent mount, use a 4mm hex key to unscrew the 4M5x10 screws under the mounting plate. Lift the lighting unit from the mounting plate. Remove the lighting unit from portable mount. Start by releasing the safety latches. Gently remove the lighting unit, being careful not to bend the rear latches. Inspect the fuse holder using a flathead screwdriver to confirm the presence and condition of the fuse. To perform this operation, place the lamp on its side to ensure easy access to its lower section. Use a flathead screwdriver to remove the fuse holder, ensuring steady pressure is applied to prevent damage. Then remove the fuse holder and verify that the fuse is installed. Remove the transport fuse and inspect it for any signs of damage. The fuse must not show any signs of physical damage or burn marks. If the transport fuse is found to be damaged, replace it with a new one using approved spare parts. Place the fuse inside the fuse holder and fasten it into the fuse socket using a flathead screwdriver. During tightening, apply steady force to prevent damage to the fuse holder. Verify whether the lamp is operating correctly. If not, proceed to the next steps. Remove the antenna before unscrewing the housing. Next, using a power drill or a multi-bit screwdriver equipped with an H4 bit, remove the 8M5x20 screw securing the SP-401S lamp housing. Remove the screws, then carefully lift the top cover and place it beside the bottom housing, keeping in mind that the wires are still connected and must not be pulled apart. To interrupt the electrical circuit in the lamp, disconnect the yellow transport fuse cable that connects the upper and lower sections of the lamp housing. In the upper section of the housing, remove the masking plate that covers access to the PCB. Remove the 4M3x6 screws using a multi-bit screwdriver with a PZ1 bit and take out the masking plate. After unscrewing the screws, remove the masking plate from the housing. Inspect the components located in the upper section of the lamp housing. First, examine the installed PCB for any visible signs of damage, burn marks, or component deterioration. If any irregularities are observed, the PCB must be replaced. Refer to the video SP-401S How to Replace PCB. Subsequently, inspect the antenna adapter located on the right side of the housing. Confirm that both the adapter and its cable are free from visible defects. In case of detected damage, refer to the video SP-401S How to Replace the Antenna Adapter. The SP-401S lamp may be equipped with either PCB LK version 1.0 or PCB LK version 1.5. Separate subsections have been prepared for inspecting the radio module depending on the PCB version installed. You may skip the subsection that does not correspond to the PCB version installed in your unit and proceed to the following subsection. Verify that the gray cable from the antenna adapter is properly connected to the radio module. Inspect the radio module for any visible signs of damage, including burn marks or physical defects. If any damage is detected, replace the radio module. Refer to the video SP-401S How to Replace the Radio Module. In PCB version 1.5, the radio module is installed on a separate board. To properly inspect the radio module, use a 2mm hex key to unscrew the M3x2 screw securing the module. Carefully remove the radio module. Verify that the cable from the antenna adapter is correctly connected. Inspect the radio module board for any visible physical damage or burn marks. If any defects are detected, refer to the video SP-401S How to Replace the Radio Module. If the radio module is undamaged, reconnect it to the dedicated connector on the main PCB. Secure the module using the M3x2 screw and a 2mm hex key. If no visible damage or burn marks are detected, verify that all cables are properly connected to the PCB. Additionally, confirm that the PCB is correctly connected to the batteries. Verify that the blue cables are properly connected to the black battery connectors, and the red cables are connected to the corresponding red connectors. If you notice damaged PCB wires, refer to the video SP-401S How to Replace PCB. If all wiring connections are confirmed to be correct and undamaged, an internal failure of the radio module or the PCB may have occurred. Replace the components individually and test the lamp after each replacement to determine which component restores proper operation. To perform this procedure, refer to the videos SP-401S How to Replace PCB and SP-401S How to Replace the Radio Module. After completing the operation, reinstall and secure the masking plate in its original position. Place the masking plate into the upper part of the housing, ensuring that the wires from the PCB pass through the designated hole on the left side. Make sure the electronic connection diagram label is facing outward. Then secure the masking plate using 4 M3x6 screws. Tighten them in an opposite sequence using a multi-bit screwdriver equipped with a PZ1 bit. To restore the electrical circuit in the lamp, reconnect the yellow transport fuse cable between the upper and lower housing sections. After each opening of the SP-401S lamp housing, replace the gasket located between the upper and lower parts of the housing. The gasket may be removed by carefully passing it over either the upper or lower part of the housing. Subsequently, install a new gasket by sliding it over the housing from either the top or the bottom section of the unit. Next, close the lamp. This can be performed using one of two methods. By positioning the gasket on the lower section of the housing and placing the upper section on top of it. Position the upper housing section so that the power supply connector is located on the opposite side of the battery connectors. The second method involves inserting the gasket into the groove of the upper housing section, and gently positioning the lower housing section against it. Next, insert 8 M5x20 screws through the upper housing section, then secure them from underneath using M5 nuts. Use a multi-bit screwdriver equipped with an H4 bit to tighten the screws. Tighten the screws in an opposite sequence to ensure proper and even compression of the gasket. If the gasket shifts out of position during assembly and becomes pinched while tightening the housing, a characteristic bulge may appear, and the lamp may lose its watertight integrity. In this case, open the housing, properly adjust the gasket, and tighten the housing again. After properly securing the housing, locate the antenna socket on the upper section of the lamp and ensure that the gasket is installed. Then install the antenna by screwing it into the antenna socket. Place the lamp on the base and screw it in from underneath, tightening the screws opposite each other. Use 4 M5x10 screws for the installation. Use a 4 mm hex key and tighten the screws to keep the lamp steady and secure. Before inserting the lamp, unlock and open the safety latches. Carefully insert the lamp so that the rear part hooks onto the latches holding the lamp in place. Then, close the front safety latches to lock the lamp securely in place. To connect the solar panel, look for the power connector on the side of the lighting unit. When connecting the devices, locate the thickest pin and align pin number 4 with input port number 4, or position it so that the thickest pin faces the power connector cover. Insert the connector carefully until it is fully seated in the socket, then turn the latch clockwise to lock the power cord in place. For additional information regarding the SP-401S lamp, refer to the SP-401S Lighting Unit Maintenance Manual.